Well, I'm back to messing with the violin. I've actually already gone ahead and taken the top off. I use the small scraper here, very thin, flexible, and put it in the edge here and pressed in. Then I could wiggle it and work my way around the edge, left and right, until I got everything cleared to the end. I also took the fingerboard off, removed these two screws, and cleaned up the inside. The inside had a lot of glue through here. It was loose and did not attach to the neck well. Actually, there's a little groove here and I had a lot of glue there, and so I flattened this out and this so that now that they match and it can be glued back on and be held by the glue. The top itself, like I said, I've already loosened it and started cleaning the inside out too. But there was a rattle inside it, and I didn't know what it was, but it turned out it's rattlesnake rattles. I'd never heard of that before in my life. I at first thought that a snake had hibernated in there and dropped its rattles, but I since found out that some old fiddle players used to put that in the violin or their fiddle to give it a better sound. And let's see here. You can see a good shot of the sticker. Now, whether that's real or not, I don't know. But I've started to work on this, cleaned it out, and this getting everything ready. I've also taken the metal tuning pegs off. They were, well, they shouldn't have been on there anyhow. But I know my father had a violin that he had bought when he was in the war, Second World War. He had brought it back, and it also had the metal tuning pegs on it. And I was doing research on violins, and I found another man who was dealing with a violin very similar to this, that had cracks in it and had the metal tuners. The top, like I'd mentioned, is cracked, and so I'm going to repair that. I have a place here and here where I'm going to put some help on that. Now, I've already fitted those to the contours of the top. I put a piece of sandpaper down there and sanded it so that they would be the same. So I'll be able to pull the top in sideways and also clamp up and down with this, and it should be able to hold. There was a slight crack on the side right there, and I've got that taken care of. But it had been varnished before, and it seemed that the varnish was put on thick rather than putting on a thin coat, sanding it and doing it again. It was thick, more so on the back. I could see because the front has been worn off, but you can see at the end right here, you can see where there's a puddle of varnish. So I started using a wet sandpaper. I'm starting with 200 grit to remove the varnish from the back side, and I'm getting down to where this red varnish is starting to show raw wood, so I don't want to go any farther because I don't want to do anything that cannot be reversed. But it's cleaned up fairly well. There's a rough spot here and here, but I'm going to leave that because I don't want it to look like a brand new, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to restore it so that it can be played if someone wants to, or displayed, and I want it to show the antiquity rather than having to look through the F-holes to spot the little sticker inside. The neck actually looks very good. There's no defects on it, except for where the pegs were replaced with the metal tuners. You can see they don't look good at all. As a matter of fact, in one of those little holes, this tiny peg here was hand carved, and just to fill in the hole, it dropped out while I was taking off the metal tuners. What I'll do is I'll plug those holes again. First I'll run my reamer through it to get the holes just right, and then I'll take wood, maple or boxwood, to fill that in, glue it in, then cut it, and then I'll reposition the peg holes again, redo them and fit them. Won't try to make it perfect, but I'll make it blend in and look nice. Like I said, I've already gotten a good bit done, and it's coming along nicely. You can see that there was a tiny problem with the top removal where a little bit of the wood stuck here and also here, and I'm debating on whether I should just glue the top back on with that in there, or if I should smooth it down and flatten it. A little more research, and then I'll put it in position and look at it and think about it, and then I'll move on to sanding and smoothing up the top and getting it ready for varnish. I'll come back when I've done more, and perhaps I'll even video myself while I'm doing some of the work. Make sure I don't lose the rattles. My friend will enjoy having those back. Thank you, and keep watching to see what else I might do.